When you come back late from work,
Glovo.
and dance away.
Order Glovo. Honourable members, Mr. Speaker.
Prayers.
Almighty God, who in your
Honourable members, Mr. Speaker.
have appointed the offices of leaders and parliaments for the welfare of society and the just government of humanity, we beseech you to look upon with abundant favor these your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of such important trust in this land. Let your blessing descend upon them here assembled, and grant that they may, as in your presence, treat and consider all matters that shall come under their deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the good of those whose interests you have committed to their charge. Amen.
Item 2 on the other paper, communication from the chair.
Thank you, colleagues. I welcome you to today's sitting. Matters of national importance. Honorable Tebandeke.
Procedure, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Just procedure, wait a little bit. Honorable Watkins, procedure.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir. And I take the opportunity to wish you a very happy and prosperous New Year. Mr. Speaker, sir, January 16, Madam Speaker directed government to present a report on the abduction and incarceration of Dr. Besigye. And that same sitting, Mr. Speaker, sir, the Deputy Attorney General, who is in the House, committed before a global audience, and specifically a national audience, the government in the next sitting, which was yesterday, would bring for debate a report on the abduction and incarceration of Dr. Besigye. Mr. Speaker, sir, like I've always said, the city occupies a constitutional seat. Your word is the last word. We can't turn this house into NARDS, National Advisory Services. This is a parliament of the Republic of Uganda. What we pronounce ourselves upon is final. Mr. Speaker, sir, my procedure issue. I've scanned through today's order paper. I don't see any commitment or any report reflected on the order paper in regard to the Dr. Besigye abduction and incarceration. Mr. Speaker, sir, the problem with speaking and getting used to speaking is the more you speak, the less the people remember what you spoke. If we don't attach value to this parliament, nobody else is going to attach any value to us. We're not here to warm seats or feel good. Mr. Speaker, sir, through you, and I kindly ask that you consider and explore the possibility of amending this order paper and demand that before the adjournment of today's sitting, government submits and presents a report on the Dr. Besigye abduction and incarceration without a fail. And that is non-negotiable, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much.
Honorable, that's not how you conclude a meeting. submission of a session you're not chairing. To begin with, that's not a procedure matter. Procedure matter is to do with the business we are handling today. That's number one. And I want members to have this clarification. I don't want us to be taking shortcuts under procedure. Let us not abuse that rule. The reason as to why we issue an order paper, Ari, is for you to reach out to the presiding officer in case you had an issue. Why I'm a bit late, I have been meeting members who have had issues asking me, why isn't this issue on the order paper? Why isn't? That's why we issue the order paper, Ari. We don't issue it on the floor. So, Honorable colleague, if you felt this was an issue which must be on the order paper, you would have reached out to me so that I also consult if the report is ready, and then I can be able to amend the order paper and I put it. Number two, the order paper is not done by the Attorney General or by a minister, so I don't want him to be accused. It's us who carry the responsibility. But I've taken note of your matter, okay? I'm going to consult with the clerk to see if the response of the Attorney General is ready, and I'll give it space on the order paper at the appropriate time. Is it, you wanted to say something? Okay. I've no. Please,
can we
no,
have
Honorable, please, you don't access a microphone without my permission. No, please.
This is about the Constitution. Excuse me. Nope. Put me down. Nope.
Honorable Karshe, please, can you take your seat?
Sir.
Honorable Karshe, can you take your seat? Please.
Speaker. But there's
Thank you. Now, honorable colleagues, please. We have rules we use here, and some of you are senior legislators. So let us not always push presiding officers to a certain, certain direction. Okay? Yeah. Honorable Attorney General?
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I'm glad that you are presiding over this matter, this House. Right Honorable Speaker, in light of what Honorable Katsabe is seeking, when he brought up that issue, I want to confess that I'm not one of those who understand his English 100%. I wrote to the clerk to Parliament on the 14th of January and requested that they give me the question exactly as he stated it, so that I could prepare a response. My letter is here, received on the 14th of January. So I have not refused to respond, but I've not yet received the question in your language. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. No, I don't have anyone on the floor. So, yeah. Point of order applies when there is someone on the floor. Okay? So I will cross-check with the clerk if the Attorney General indeed has given evidence that he wrote, because sometimes indeed people want to capture the real question the way it is. We usually volunteer, we usually write and help them to get the question. So I'm going to cross-check with the clerk, but clerk, please ensure that you pick from the answered and you send the question to the Attorney General. Honorable Tebandeke.
I rise on the matter of national importance. Right Honorable Speaker, 5 of my villages in Chitimbwa sub-county were subject to vandalism. Electricity wires were stolen. Some meter boxes were also taken away, leading to total shutdown with related consequences. My prayer is simple, Right Honorable Speaker. I beg government to come to the rescue of the people, to relieve them of the burden, and is still to update us on the remedies put forward to avoid the reoccurrence of such phenomenon. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Government, Honorable Bahati is standing in for the Chief Whip.
Mr. Speaker, the Minister for Internal Affairs will take up the matter.
Let Internal Affairs link up with energy to see also how we can restore the service and help of the people. I know there is a campaign around that, Honorable Tebandeke, so I'm going to ensure that indeed we follow up on that matter. Honorable Atima Jackson.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I rise on a matter of national importance. Right Honorable Speaker, the state of road section from Nebi to Arua City, areas like Kamukamu in Kuluva, Ochoko, Arevo, Bondo, and Olepi, which are now completely impassable. Right Honorable Speaker, many of my colleagues from that region have raised this issue on this house, on the floor here in this house, but no action has been taken, Right Honorable Speaker. Aware that Uganda National Road Authority has been rationalized, Right Honorable Speaker, I will pray that Minister of Works and Transport undertakes immediate spot filling to save motorists, travelers, and business communities to avert accidents, theft of cargo, as government looks for a longer solution. Right Honorable Speaker, we will also implore government, especially Minister of Internal Affairs, to support Uganda Police with the new patrol vehicles to patrol those sections that I have mentioned, because wrong elements now waylay trucks that move with goods and steal those goods. Businessmen have lost a lot of money in compensating for goods of their customers, especially traders like California Bus Company has lost a lot of money in compensation. Right Honorable Speaker, we really need an action on this. Thank you so much, Right Honorable
Thank
Speaker.
you. The same matter had been registered by Honorable Fetal Geoffrey, so I hope it's well captured. Minister of Works, today we are ministers.
Mr. Speaker, some ministers are with the President in the Busoga region, but others are also on the way coming. On the issue of the roads, we have already gotten the request by the people West Nile about this matter, especially on the context of traders, and we're already attending to this matter. I will liaise with the minister, rather with the honourable member, to make sure that this issue is resolved.
Tomorrow during PM's time, let's update members from West Nile on this issue. Tomorrow during Prime Minister's time. Because now the minister responsible is not here. So it doesn't help for us to continue rotating on the matter. Honorable Bakor.
Right Honorable Speaker, I rise on matter of urgent national importance. Right Honorable Speaker, the government of Uganda enrolled a new curriculum for O-level 4 years ago. Right Honorable Speaker, the first lot sat for the exams last year, and I think in about 2 weeks they might get the results. But unfortunately, as I talk with you, I have interacted with the Minister of State for Higher Education. I think I called him on 19th of December to find out if there is a new curriculum to cater for this new lot of people who sat their exams. But unfortunately, I've been made to know that they are talking about a bridge curriculum, but at the same time, the teachers of A-level that I interacted with, they have not been trained on how to handle, and they don't even have the syllabus now. Right Honorable Speaker, my interaction with the chairman of the Committee of Education, they also brought this issue to the Minister of Education, and they tell them that they have put the budget for this financial year. And they've been saying that there has been no budget to make sure there is a syllabus for the A-level. Right Honorable Speaker, my concern is, 4 years ago, they were all aware that there is need for this lot of people after finishing O-level. They will graduate to A-level. You wonder how such an important issue is put to be unfunded priority when the children are studying. I tried personally, because I have 2 boys who sat, to look for schools. Even international school now in Uganda is full because of this issue. Now, Right Honorable Speaker, my concern is that it should be brought to this floor. The Minister of Education should bring to this floor what is the way forward for those who have now finished and they are supposed to graduate to A-level. But at the same time, something needs to be done now, because we are going to lose this particular lot of people who have studied in the new curriculum, but they don't have, especially where they have to graduate, there is no proper syllabus for this country. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Let the Minister of Education tomorrow come and update the House on this. Honorable Bigaros.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I rise on a matter of national importance. Terego District has illegal gold mining in Odupis Sub-County, Okavu Parish in Onivu Village, which has contaminated the entire Ore River, causing a lot of disturbance to the people. And this river is shared both by Yumbe and Terego. These people do not have any document that allows them to do any mining, and there's nothing that shows that they are legal miners. My prayer is to request government to give us an update of what is happening, because these are Chinese who are based in Terego and crossing both Terego and Yumbe. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
This should also be handled tomorrow during PM's time. These are issues they should capture them. We refer them to the ministers during Prime Minister's time. We should get quick responses. I'm trying to avoid statements which will clog the order paper, yet we are going into a very critical period of budgeting. Honorable Babiku, Jessica.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I rise on increased rate as a result of high spread of hepatitis C in the Juman district. We have challenges associated with early testing because we don't have the reagents. The samples are brought to Kampala, and each sample costs 250,000. The second challenge is about getting the treatment. A dose takes from 1.8 million to 2 million. Therefore, many people are dying because they cannot afford. And my prayers are, one, let the reagents be taken to the district, because this disease is manageable. It can be treated. Two, let us have the medicines at the hospital so that people can be treated. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister for Health.
Thank you very much, Honorable Bebiku, for your question. Yes, I know about hepatitis B. It's not only in Adjumani, but it's in many. Hepatitis C, sorry. We were in Egypt, I think, last year, and were promised now a vaccine for hepatitis B. And actually, they had B is the most common. But we were promised a vaccine for hepatitis C, and they have also found some treatment, by the way, for it. And I'll find out the details, and I'll bring a proper report here. But we're already in touch with the Ministry of Health of Egypt, who are helping us in the fight against hepatitis C.
Thank you. Honorable Namuga.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I have a very simplified but important matter in regard to labor unregulated labor externalization. Right Honorable Speaker, in December, not only on social media but all over the newspapers, we saw cases of our children, all our sisters and brothers working from abroad, those are migrant workers, complaining about the situation that there is, especially in Saudi Arabia. Right Honorable Speaker, in specific, we had a case of Nambalira Prosi, who comes from my constituency, that is Maogola County, Sembabule District, who was stuck in Medina in the hospital. I want to report that I thank the embassy that they intervened, and this girl was picked from Medina to jihad the embassy. But to date, she's stuck at the embassy because the company only managed to get an air ticket for Nambalira, but they cannot get an air ticket for the embassy staff to escort her up to Uganda. The ministry says it has no money. But this is not the only case. We have so many cases on migrant workers who are stuck in other countries, inclusive of Saudi Arabia. So, Right Honorable Speaker, number one, my prayer is the ministry should intervene immediately to ensure that Nambalira Prosi gets home as soon as possible so that she can get treatment. Number two, the labor externalization bill must be fast-tracked into law by the Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development to ensure that the dynamics within this sector are managed and followed up. The other prayer is, Right Honorable Speaker, the expanding scope of the external employment management information system is vital in obtaining comprehensive labor externalization data, and currently this system is not covering all the areas that would really help to bring this sector to order. So essential information is left out. Right Honorable Speaker, I would implore this parliament to get interested into what our migrant workers go through in all the countries, not only Saudi Arabia, but the United Arab Emirates. This matter has been on the floor of parliament several times, but the Ministry of Gender and Labor has remained adamant. And a lot of money, a lot of taxes are picked from this sector. So this should not be a source of revenue to the country, but the migrant workers should be protected. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Minister for Gender. Procedure, Honorable Kamara.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The procedure matter I'm raising is that the Minister of Health has said that there is a vaccine for hepatitis C. Yet hepatitis C does not have a vaccine. Mr. Speaker, this is unanswered. This is wrong information. I don't know whether we are proceeding well with the Minister of a big Ministry of Health giving us wrong information that there is a vaccine for hepatitis C. I am seeking for your guidance, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Minister, I want to make a comment on that because even me, I don't know whether it's there or not. Sorry,
Dr. Kamara, I said that when we visited Egypt, they were trying to do tests on how they can find a vaccine for hepatitis C.
Okay.
That's what I said. It is under manufacture or under trial.
So for the record, now the Honorable Kamara wants a very clear record. And the record is there is no vaccine. That's what the minister has said. But some countries have made progress according to the information she has, and therefore they were working with them to see whether indeed they can help us. Okay? Thank you. Honourable Minister for Gender. Honourable Badjomons wanted, sorry, Honourable Minister, your colleague Honourable Badjomons wanted to give us his expert advice as a doctor. Also.
Thank you very much. Right, Honourable Speaker. Yes, vaccines, before they are declared for public use, they go through trials. And the trials, it's a process. And the clinical trials usually start with the animal models. When you reach the clinical trials, they are tried on human beings. So the Honourable Minister of Health is right that there are several clinical trials going on to test the efficacy and safety of the vaccines for hepatitis C. So I just wanted to clarify, to confirm what the Honourable Minister of Health is saying.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Honourable Minister. Colleagues, the record is very clear. There is no vaccine for hepatitis C. So we don't need to really add on anything. Colleagues, in the public gallery this afternoon, we have a delegation from the African Institute of Investigative Journalism and Friends of Zoka. They include Mr. Solomon Serwanja, team leader, Mr. Amanzur William Leslie, and Mr. Nwari John Bosco. These are the people who brought to the limelight so much the issue of the depletion of Zoka forest. Last time when I commented on it, I have last week I received a report from the Army Commander for 4th Division telling me that indeed they've done very, very good progress in stopping the charcoal burning around Zoka forest. So, but you remember I had assigned the committee. So the committee chair for natural resources promised me they will be going end of this month to Zoka forest for fact finding. And I told him to even capture videos so that once he's presenting the report here, we see the evidence very clear. So we want to thank the team for the good work done protecting our nature. And please join me once again in welcoming them. Thank you. Sorry, I had the Honourable Minister coming on. We've interrupted her several times.
Yeah, Right Honourable Speaker, I want first of all to thank you, and I want to thank the Honourable Minister. Maybe before I answer, Honourable Speaker, you have made me sit like 3 times, and I'm not comfortable in this seat because I need armchaired seat. So my rights as a sitting person here, I'm not as good as others who are very flexible. Jump up, sit down, do this, and ABCD. Those are my rights, and I think I request that I should be given something comfortable. In cabinet, you're aware that I'm given a better chair than...
I sat in cabinet with her for 9 months.
I am talking to the Deputy Speaker. Yes. Yeah, I'm talking to the Deputy Speaker and he knows. And that time he was my chief whip and he fought for me to get a chair the other side better. So I want just to say that I want to thank Honorable Nabuga and I want to report that she has brought in about 4 areas of complaint. But I want to inform the House we are not adamant as a ministry. Even that person to be moved to the embassy was the work of the ministry. But I want to say that I'm going to take whatever you have said to the right minister and ensure that we follow up on that particular lady to be brought back to Uganda because it's really the role of the company as per the agreement. So why don't you listen? Then I finish. You finished when I was listening. Now if you make me to sit down, I will not stand up.
Now, Honourable Minister, the answer is going to be, because they don't know whom you're talking to.
You know, you know, I'm a senior member of this house, and when I know that the rules say you listen to the friend where he's talking, then you can get up. Just a few lessons. So I wanted just to say that you have mentioned the girl was taken to an embassy of Uganda, and that's like a holding position. But again, as a ministry, we are following up with the company to ensure that this girl is brought where? To Uganda. It's our role as a ministry. The other issues that you have mentioned about the information system or whatever, I will agree with you that we are all working in the right direction because these are citizens of what? Of Uganda. But because of labor issues, these children volunteered to go to those countries. But I want to say the minister in charge of the docket is going to be informed, and these issues will be answered to you, Right Honourable Speaker. She's even arriving, and we work in partnership. I know what is in labor, but I think she has come. But I will still whisper to her and to answer that, because you brought about 4 areas, which some of them need us to go back to the law, the external bill you have mentioned. Some of them you have brought about the information system, which we try to put into track where the girls are. But of course, we must also understand there are those ones who go through the porous borders who are really not in our control. So I want to thank you. Right Honourable Speaker, the right person has come. Thank you.
But she has no right information, unfortunately. So, anyway, just let me handle it this way, okay? Let me allow Honorable specifically the issue of the lady only. The rest, the sector committee will be handling.
Right Honourable Speaker, the lady I'm talking about has spent now 2 weeks at the embassy. The embassy claims that it has no money to bring her back. The company we're talking about, Fabulous Company, the license expired. The ministry says that they are no longer in control of the company. So the embassy has no money to bring the lady back. What we want is confirmation and commitment that you are going to help this woman to come back home and get treatment.
What's
as simple
her
as
name?
that.
What's her name?
Nambalira Prosi. She's stuck at the embassy for 2 weeks. She's sick. She wants to come back home for medication. We have Jihad Embassy, Saudi Arabia. Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. We have a ticket for Nambalira Prosi, but your staff at the embassy wants us to pay for her to escort her back because she's mentally deranged. So kindly help us to make a commitment of when you are going to support your embassy to bring her back. We already have her ticket. We only want your commitment that you are paying for your staff to return her back.
Honourable Minister.
Right Honourable Speaker, first of all, I want to wish you a Happy New Year. I want my colleague to, first of all, thank us as the ministry, where we got the girl from and relocated her from where she was, and this action was taken as soon as we knew about her news. The girl is right now in the hands of the government. She's still on treatment. She had both fractures on both legs, and that's why we have to ensure that she is in better condition to be able to take a flight to come back home. I will be in Riyadh on Monday, and I will come back with the girl.
Thank you. Thank you. Honourable Viralo.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I'm raising on a matter of national concern about failure by government to supply water to Nyakashaka Town Council. Right Honourable Speaker and Honourable Members, in the year 2004, government, through a Mesmaround project, procured a water source to supply water in this area of Nyakashaka, and the population got excited about the premise. In 2012, government again resumed that first program of Mesmaround failed. In 2012, government resumed the project under Southwestern Rural Water Scheme. It also did not deliver. Right Honourable Speaker, in 2022, the Ministry of Water contracted a company called Azu to deliver water to Nyakashaka Town Council. And that water was supposed to be delivered by February 2025, which is the next month. People surrendered their properties for the project to move. Right Honourable Speaker, to date, there is no water, there is no task, and there is no job going on, and the contract is soon expiring in 2 weeks to come. My prayers, Right Honourable Speaker. 1, I request that the Ministry of Water steps in using force account approach, since all these contracts have failed, to implement the project in Nyakashaka, Buhweju West. 2, government goes to Nyakashaka to consult the people and give them assurances about their promises that they will ever deliver water. Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I beg to move.
Thank you. Government.
The Right Honourable Speaker, as I mentioned, there are a number of ministers in the House, and some of these questions require sector ministries. So I request that tomorrow the Minister of Water comes here and makes a response to this.
During PM time?
During PM's time.
Chamuswa.
Mr. Speaker, I rise also on a matter of urgent importance. Mr. Speaker, the night that made yesterday, heavy winds blew and there are storms, but they are strong in nature. In our language, we call them ensoke. They took away houses, crops, animals, and fishing boats. Mr. Speaker, the affected villages are Bobeke Rwazi Fishing Village, Kande, and Bulega of Bobeke Island in Bobeke sub-county of Kalangala. Mr. Speaker, over 50 homesteads, or people who were living in them, were left homeless. A number of them, Mr. Speaker, now the rains on the islands are very serious, have nowhere to put up. Mr. Speaker, my prayers are that Ministry of Disaster Preparedness prepares to visit and assess, but not only visiting, with at least some immediate, to start with, relief in food and shelter in iron sheets. Mr. Speaker, also I make prayer that it was formerly Meteorological Authority, but the department in that ministry should now carry out more research with the climate change, Mr. Speaker. Even the weather has changed on the lake, such that they are able to give our people information reliable on how the waves or the climate is about to change, and our people can prepare for that. It's possible, Mr. Speaker. I pray that our people also be given some medication, because the nature of life now they live in requires urgent attention. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah, the Islanders really need urgent support. Honourable Minister Bahati kindly liaise with OPM so that indeed they are given support. Now, Honourable Asamo, I'm sorry I forgot to respond to your comment, to your request. It's to your right, and I don't know. I know we are trying to make special to adjust a few seating arrangements, but at least Crack needs to return the chairs for the disabled and the elderly, which were in that corner. I'm going to ensure that is done, and when we do it, honourable colleagues, we respect that corner. I also have people whose height can only allow sitting in business class, like Honourable Anton Akor. That's why you saw him here. He says when his legs cannot pass through, the buffalo cannot easily. That's what he said. That's what he told me. So we are going to see how we can make special arrangements. But for people with disability and the elderly, we are going to work on it. Okay? Kindly Crack, take note. Sergeant at Arms, please take note of that, and we address it urgently. Wow, I'm having, I don't know today, the issues are really many, but some are very, very urgent. No, allow me to first finish my procedure also here. Issues. Dr. Bukenya, then Emmanuel Rotara, then Santarum.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, one of the key responsibilities of this government and what has been one of its key achievements has been ensuring security of people and their property. However, in the last 8 weeks, we've had increase in insecurity in Bukuya as a result of panga wielding men that come at night, popularly known as Vijambia. We've had 6 incidents, one of which was fatal, but the other 5, the victims were hospitalized. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the police that with the minimal resources and personnel, they managed to arrest some of these criminals and paraded a few of them in court. However, when you interact with the police and with the community, you realize that there are very many who are still within. And my prayer is that the Ministry of Internal Affairs intervenes and deploys vehicles, fuel, personnel, and technical expertise to help us crack the units of these criminals so that people of Bukuya can go back to their normal life. I thank you.
Minister for National Guidance, can you guide the nation on such matters? What do we do?
Thank you very much. I thank the Honorable Member for Bukuya for raising that concern, and I will relay that information to the Minister of Internal Affairs so that action is taken by, you will link with the Honorable Member and also send the officers on the ground, and then the issue should be handled, because much as it could be Bukuya, but there should be other incidents elsewhere, and we shall definitely report back. The Minister will report back in Parliament the next week.
The Minister just needs to go on ground. They need to take action. And as long as the MP tells me it's okay, we don't need to again report back here. Okay? Thank you. Honorable Bahati, when we were talking about Chamuswa, Honorable Charles Matovu had brought the issue of Busi Island some time back, and the cow for Wakiso did all that is necessary, but they've not been helped. So please also include that to ensure indeed those islanders are helped. Honorable Emmanuel Otara.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity. Right Honorable Speaker, I arise on a matter of national importance regarding Katerema Secondary School in Osia Sub-County, West Budama South constituency. That's the constituency that I represent. Right Honorable Speaker, this school, Katerema, was initiated by the community, and it was taken over 20 years ago by government. And I want to inform the House that this school, the structures were made out of poles and unbaked bricks. And 20 years down the road, the poles have been eaten up by termites, and now the buildings pose a danger to over 1,000 learners of this school. Right Honorable Speaker, my prayer is that government should visit this school and see the possibility of putting new structures that will provide a conducive environment for learners, but also that will uphold the lives of these learners. It is really, really in a very dangerous situation, and I'm surprised that 20 years down the road, government has not ventured to put up the right structures in this school in accordance with the policy of at least one secondary school per sub-county. Katerema is the only secondary school in that sub-county. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to submit.
Thank you, Honorable colleague. This is for noting for the ministry and also the Committee on Education when you're doing when you're processing the NPS. Honorable Santa.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise on the issue of national concern concerning the road from corner Aboke to Bobby. Mr. Speaker, this road was blocked and completely cut at Oriamapat Swamp since July last year, arising from a very serious floods which happened. And Mr. Speaker, UNRWA started working on this road, but eventually they left. And the road is still accessible, and yet there are so many people dying on this road. It's a very busy road. People try to cross it. People try to use it. There are so many people, more especially borders, who try to squeeze and use this road. Mr. Speaker, businesses have been interrupted, and vehicles cannot use this road. People going to the hospital can't use this road. And finally, Mr. Speaker, we are soon returning children to school. There are some children who use this road to cross to the other side. My prayer, Mr. Speaker, to the Ministry of Work, since UNRWA does not exist anymore, can we see Ministry of Works coming to our rescue? Because, Mr. Speaker, this is a great road. We have suffered enough, and I would like the response from the Ministry of Works. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Let the Minister respond tomorrow when we are in matters of national importance, PM time, in form of an oral answer, not a statement. Next item. Other issues, I'm handling them tomorrow. Next item.
Item 3 on the other paper.
I have handled 11 questions, so I really want us to save some time. Tomorrow we shall handle as many as possible.
Statement by Minister on celebrations to mark the 39th NRMA Victory Day anniversary on 26 January 2025.
Honorable colleagues, Honorable colleagues, I think there is a culture which is cropping up in this house that has to stop. Honorable colleagues, I have no let me first help you on this, honorable colleagues. I have 17 matters which have been recorded in my office. 17 matters. None of them is from Honorable Beta Ward. I have been in office seated, MPs have come, we have discussed matters, we have done. They have booked space, and we agreed that's how we use this procedure in order to control. So now, if you can't come to my office to tell me that you have an urgent question and others come, whom will I give priority? I will give priority to the one who will come. That's it. So when the matter is urgent, whether the matter is urgent or not, honorable colleagues, I attend to you up to 1:50. Okay? Up to 1:50 p.m., I'll be in office waiting for you to receive your matters. So I request you always do that to make work easy for both of us. Next item.
Mr. Speaker, sir.
Item 3, statement by Minister on celebrations to mark the 39th NRMA World Day anniversary on 26 January 2025.
Right, Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members.
Honorable Minister, please, you're on the microphone.
Right, Honorable Speaker, Happy New Year and members. Right, Honorable Speaker and members, allow me to make a statement on behalf of the Minister for Presidency regarding the forthcoming 39th NRA Victory Day anniversary celebrations, which will take place on Sunday, 26th January 2025. Right, Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, Cabinet on 3rd September 1987 directed that 26th of January be gazetted as a public holiday. It's upon this background, Right Honorable Speaker, that the nation on 26th January 2025 will celebrate the 39th NRA Victory Day anniversary. The anniversary celebrations is an opportunity to remind our young generations of the sacrifices made by Ugandans to cause change that ushered in the current peace and socio-economic transformation that is prevailing in Uganda today. Right Honorable Speaker, over the last 39 years, Uganda has witnessed socio-economic transformation indicators never seen before, guided by the correct philosophy, ideology, and strategy of the NRM government, which enabled the economy and society of Uganda to go through 5 phases since 1986. And these phases of recovery are: 1, the minimum economic recovery, phase of restoring the aspects of the small colonial enclave money economy of the 3 C's, that is coffee, cotton, and copper, and the 3 T's, that is tea, tobacco, and tourism. The second, expanding that enclave with more production of coffee, tea, and others. The third phase, Right Honorable Speaker, the diversification of the enclave economy by commercializing the production of bananas, cassava, milk, fruits, palm oil, cocoa, fish, beef, and others. The fourth one is adding value to the sum of these raw materials, such as cotton, fruits, milk, tea, timber, sugar, etc. And the last phase, where we are now, Right Honorable Speaker, is the knowledge economy, through the production of vaccines, the automobile industry. These measures have enabled, Right Honorable Speaker, the economy to grow from United States dollars 1.5 billion 1986 to now United States dollars 55 billion by foreign exchange method, and USD 180.29 billion by public-private partnership method, which we intend to grow to United States dollars 550 billion through the 10-fold growth strategy of the next 10 years. Presently, Right Honorable Speaker, at United States dollars 1,182 per capita, Uganda has entered the lower middle income status. Right Honorable Speaker, all those phases have been supported by improved infrastructure, like motorable roads, border-to-border connectivity. For example, Right Honorable Speaker, currently somebody can comfortably travel from Chisolo to Koboko. We are now flying the cranes in the skies. Mention the electricity supplied. In short, the development of our economy is unstoppable. Right Honorable Speaker, with the rollout of many poverty alleviation activities and initiatives in the country, namely the 4-acre model for smallholder farmers, a Mioga parish development model, and the youth livelihood program, among others, many of our people in the rural setting will definitely join the monetary economy, and thus the outcomes of growth are shared by all. Right Honorable Speaker and members, the theme for the 39th NRA Victory Day anniversary celebrations is 39 years of NRA. Salutation to those who re-sanctified our homeland. Close the question. Right Honorable Speaker, the above theme reminds all of us the brave men and women who stood up for those who could not stand up for themselves at a time of political turmoil in this country. So we are talking of 39 years of re-sanctifying our country, which is indeed worth celebrating. Right Honorable Speaker and members, this year's celebrations will be held on Sunday, 26th January 2025, like I said, at Mubende National Teachers College Mubende District. Right Honorable Speaker, members, the chief guest during this anniversary celebrations will be His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, General, retired, the President of the Republic of Uganda, who will be joined by all of you. Right Honorable Speaker, a lot of preparatory activities are ongoing, but allow me, Right Honorable Speaker, to thank and extend appreciation to the honorable members of Parliament and local leaders from Mubende District and Greater Mubende for participating in the preparatory meetings, and I am certain the function will be a success. Right Honorable Speaker, a lot of preparatory activities have been taking place, including eye care medical camp, which is running from today to 24th. And publicity programs have been done. And Right Honorable Speaker and members, a synopsis regarding the anniversary celebration has been prepared by the Uganda Media Center in liaison with the Office of the President, and it has been shared with all RDCs to enhance publicity by our various media partners. As a way of informing members and the general public about the celebrations, a press conference by the Minister in charge of Presidents was held actually this morning at Uganda Media Center. Right Honorable Speaker, all the above was achieved because of the will and the divine mercy of God. And indeed, we've prepared and planned prayers, and the program is here as follows. On Friday, 24th January 2025, we shall hold prayers in all mosques. On Saturday, 25th January, we shall hold prayers in all Seventh-day Adventist churches. On Sunday, 26th January 25, prayers in all other churches. Right Honorable Speaker, as always, His Excellency the President on the D-Day will award medals to 61 distinguished individuals in honor of the extraordinary roles they have performed in Uganda. I therefore take this opportunity to invite you and invite members of Parliament to please find cards in your pigeonholes to attend these celebrations, which is worth attending. Right Honorable Speaker, on the issue of securing the place is 100% secured by Uganda Police, assisted by sister agencies. I beg to submit.
Thank you. Rope, you want to be the first one? So, honorable colleagues, I'm going to pick 4 from NRM, 2 from opposition, and 2 from independents. Yes, so that we got other program. On NRM side, I'm going to pick the member from Mubende. I have Honorable Kabanda. I pick Honorable Saro Pendi. I pick Honorable Kangwaje. And I need I need Honorable Feta also to present. Now, then on the independence, Honorable no, I'll pick Dr. Byakatonda and my sister Ramwo. Yes, I'll pick my sister from Ramwo. From opposition, I'm picking the leader of opposition and the woman MP Ruero. Yeah. Honorable colleagues, in the interest of time, let's, if time allows, I will see if I can be a bit flexible. Each one 3 minutes.
Right Honorable Speaker, in 1985, there was chaos in our country. My parents were dating. And in January of 1986, the NRA took power and there was tranquility at the time. My parents eventually gave birth to me in 1986 December, that very year. Right, Honorable Speaker, my parents had a debate about the name to give me. And they wanted to name me Yoweri, in memory of the man who led the war to bring tranquility to our country. But as they had further debate about it, they decided to give me the English version of the name Yoweri. And that's how I get to be called Joel. Honorable Speaker, when I look back at the 39 years of the man after whom I was named, I am disturbed. I am disgruntled. And I think that the hero after whom I was named became a shadow of his former past. I have a little book, among other books in my house, called the 10-Point Program. It's a little book. I want to encourage especially members of the NRM to read that book, because I'm sure many of you have not read it. You just hear about it. Please get a copy of that book, the 10-Point Program. It's a very small book. You can read it in even 30 minutes if you're a fast reader. The 10-Point Program. An amazing book. Honorable Speaker, point number 7 of the 10 points is elimination of corruption and misuse of power. If I'm to use just that yardstick, if I had more time, I would go over all the 10, but I'll just dwell on that number 7. Elimination of corruption and misuse of power. Honorable Speaker, we lose over 10 trillion shillings to corruption every year under the NRM government that promised to eliminate corruption. I hope that you score yourselves and see how you are doing today. And by the way, the report of 10 trillion shillings, that's your government report. If it was my assessment, you would say, Lope, you're just making these things up. I hope that you assess yourselves. Misuse of power, right, Honorable Speaker. There was a time, I was in the media, and some research was done among the citizenry. And each time that research was done, they were asking, are you more confident of police or UPDF? Each time that research was done, the citizens would say they were more confident about the UPDF. They prided themselves more in the UPDF. That's the army that brought this regime into power. I don't know if that research was done today, a similar response would come from the citizenry. Honorable Speaker, there are some officers of the UPDF, both senior and junior, who respect the rule of law and whom we salute and acknowledge. But, Honorable Speaker, there are some senior and junior UPDF officers who totally disregard the law. We see some of them threatening to behead leaders in this country, to hang others in this country. They call some of their colleagues buffoons. They are fellow senior officers in uniform. I hope that you can score yourselves on the misuse of power that is held by some of these senior officers. Finally, Right Honorable Speaker, court-martial, which was introduced by this regime to discipline serving military officers, has become another example of misuse of power. Civilians are arraigned before this court, persecuted in a manner so wanton, they'll be denied bail for 4 years and more. Leaders in this country, respectable leaders like Dr. Kanokiza Besigye, who fought to bring this regime to power, is now being persecuted under the court-martial. I hope that this regime can make a good assessment of yourselves 39 years down the road. And hopefully you can be ashamed of certain things, the same way you are celebrating some things. And it's okay to celebrate certain things. But I hope you can say, this is shameful, we need to do better. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Kabanda.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. And also, I want to thank the Minister for his statement. Firstly, Right Honorable Speaker, the leader of the opposition has said that he's disgruntled, but for me, as a member of the National Resistance Movement and our colleagues this side, we are contented with the National Resistance Movement government. Right Honorable Speaker, allow me to thank His Excellency the President, the Minister for the Presidency, and the Cabinet for allowing to host these celebrations from Mubende. Thank you so much. You all remember that the liberation war started from my constituency. That is Kabamba, where we have Kabamba 1 and Kabamba 2. And Mubende district, having made such huge contribution, we had never hosted any celebrations. And we want to thank His Excellency the President for accepting to host these celebrations from our district. We are so grateful. Right Honorable Speaker, Mubende district has been and will continue supporting the NRM government because of the many achievements that we have received from this government. And we are very grateful for the contribution that the government has given to the people of Mubende. Right Honorable Speaker, for those who don't know, Mubende district is one of those districts that has benefited a lot in this government. I must inform the leader of the opposition that Mubende hosts the regional referral hospital for Greater Mubende. And it's a contribution to the people of Mubende. The government should have chosen to take it to another district. Right Honorable Speaker, the government of Uganda.
Conclude, Honorable. Conclude as the area MP.
Thank you.
I gave you extra.
Recently signed a contract with Technovia company to tarmac a road from Rusalira, Kasambia, Nkonge, up to Sembabule, where Kabamba is. And we are very grateful for that as the people of Mubende. As we talk now, Right Honorable Speaker, I know most of you will be coming to Mubende. You will see the road from Mitiana up to Kasambia is under reconstruction by Enago Company Limited. The road from Mubende to Kakumiro up to Hoima is tarmacked by the NRM government. You can cross from Guru, you go to Masindi, go to Hoima, come up to Mubende without passing through Kampala. Now the government is going to work on a road that I have just mentioned. So you'll be able to connect from all parts of the country through Mubende without going through driving on a Maram road. That's a contribution for the National Resistance Movement. Lastly, Right Honorable Speaker, I want to join the Minister and the government in inviting you to Mubende on Sunday on the 26th. Come and sleep there so that our hotels can get visitors. Come and eat our food.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Kabanda.
Thank you, Right Honorable.
We shall be joining you in Mubende. for the celebration. Honorable Nancy Achora. No, I will pick you.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues. I want to thank the Minister for presenting the achievement of the NRM government in the 39 years of its achievement. Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, as NRM government has made progress securing the future of this nation, we want to attest that there are so many things that has happened for the citizen of this country. Moving forward, as we dream to achieve also the 40th anniversary, I want to implore us, especially the President of the Republic of Uganda, to look into consideration, apart from the PDM programs that has successfully been embraced by the citizen in this country, there is a lot more that we also have to do, especially supporting and establishing the VSLAs, which is everywhere in all the 146 districts in the country. When you look at my colleagues, the women MPs and the direct elected member of parliament, there are so many village groups that we are empowering in the villages. So we need, as NRM government, to embrace and add on what colleagues and those people who have already started doing things on their own. But otherwise, citizens out there, they know what the government has done through the good leadership and the stewardship of the NRM government. When we talk about issues of corruption, it starts with you, whether you're in opposition and you're also on the NRM government. And if you're at opposition side, what have you done to fight the corruption scandal in this country? It is all our roles to fight corruption and do what we preach, and not only what we say, but not what we preach. I beg to submit, Right Honorable Speaker, and wish a very happy 39th anniversary. And I also want to implore my sisters and brothers who are on the noob side. The NRM government has done so many things. Even when you wake up to shout and abuse, the government has given you freedom of speech. You have the freedom of speech. You are able to demonstrate wherever you want to demonstrate. The government has given you all the power, because power belongs to the people of this country. So it is a high time that you also join the ruling government and we move together.
Thank you. Honorable Saro Pendi. Honorable colleagues, here we are expressing opinions. So an opinion can be, no, that's a side for independence. That's a line for independence. So she's seated in the right place.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the Minister for his statement and acknowledge that we have made steady progress in this country, and even we as women, unlike before the 1995 Constitution, we had very few women in the political spaces and in the boardrooms. We want to commend the NRM government for enacting a new constitution and ensuring inclusion. Right Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Minister, in his submission, did talk about the infrastructure development. We must acknowledge that indeed the government, the NRM government, has actually made progress in increasing the kilometers of paved roads in this country. Currently, we speak of over 6,000 kilometers. We would have loved to have more, but because of constrained resources, we are unable. Steady progress, we shall ensure that we have more paved roads. However, Right Honorable Speaker, with these paved roads, we need to transit away from road transport into railway transport. And I want to thank His Excellency the President that on 21st of November, he commissioned the construction of the standard gauge railway in Tororo district. That is something, Right Honorable Speaker, that we are all waiting for. The construction is supposed to start in Tororo by a Turkish company, the Yapi Mackenzie. However, Right Honorable Speaker, Right Honorable Speaker, when the President came to commission this project, you need to ensure that there is a clear right of way and that we don't have hurdles that will stop the construction of this long-awaited standard gauge railway. Something that will help us move away from, relying on road transport, but also having railway transport, especially transporting our goods. There are so many road accidents today, Right Honorable Speaker, on our roads, partially because of so many vehicles, the trucks, everybody is on the road. However, Right Honorable Speaker, in order for us to move with this project, we have something, allow me raise this, Right Honorable Speaker. We have a school called Murkatipe View Primary School in Tororo. That is around the community where this standard gauge railway is supposed to start the construction of the...
Please conclude with that.
So, Right Honorable Speaker, government released money to relocate this school. Money was paid to the UPDF Engineering Brigade. Money was paid to Tororo Municipal Council. It is 1 year down the road, Right Honorable Speaker, and the technical people have been moving in circles regarding procurement of the land. When the President came, they stopped us from raising this. The Minister of Works, Attorney General, all said they were going to handle this matter. We had hoped. The PPDA has already given guidance to Tororo Municipal Council to proceed and procure land within the community. They advertised for anybody who has land. And we had people outside the community area applying or applying to actually, provide land. We need land in this very community. Land has been identified and given by the community. The Tororo Municipal Council is still dragging its feet. The schools are to open, Right Honorable Speaker, on the 3rd, 4th of February. By now, would have had classrooms constructed. This is a primary school. They are being told to move to another location. Right Honorable Speaker, imagine children of P1 walking long distances to another school. I want to real appeal to the Minister for Presidency, the Attorney General, the Minister for Economic Monitoring was in my district in March, and she found this challenge. To date, the problem has not been resolved. The Minister for Local Government, can you deal with your town clerk, who they are being motivated? It seems they to get some enjoy which they have failed.
So, sorry, Honorable Sarah, the point has been noted. I hope they take note of it and they respond. Honorable Nabu Kenya Brenda, colleagues, I've already picked people to speak, so kindly.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I have heard the statement, and I really want to speak on behalf of my people of Luelo and maybe the greater Luelo districts. First of all, I don't think it's very necessary even to have the celebrations. We can take stock in your cabinet meetings and also make a statement here. The funds you're using to celebrate can be used to do one big project that can... That is one way of accounting to the people, instead of spending funds in celebrations. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to inform this August House that we have several places where the skulls of our people are deposited. They are in dilapidated structures without covers. If you go to Sambwe in my district, Ndeje Town Council, if you go to Wabsana, that is Chichusa Sub-County, if you go to Butuntumula, You can even cry tears. The NRM government has stayed in power 39 years, but the occupation in the Luweero district is 44 years. But nothing has been done to better where the skulls of our people are. But now you're going to Mubende to celebrate 44 years. For what? Right, Honorable Speaker, we need to speak about this because we need to better what is happening. Right, Honorable Speaker, most people are not compensated. In the 9th Parliament, I was a member, I raised this matter. I was told by the then Prime Minister that a sitting government does not pay for rebel activities. But the government and the rebels are the same people. Even in this same Parliament, in the Prime Minister's time, I raised this matter because our people are poor, right, Honorable Speaker. I was given the same answer. So I am wondering why the NRM government is going to celebrate.
Let's listen to our colleague. Let's listen to our colleague.
Why are you going to slaughter cows, cook rice, when people are demanding for 5 cows, 20 cows, 30 goats? That money can be used to compensate our people. It is very unfortunate that you think it is all well. It is not well, Mr. Speaker. We demanded for a food processing industry because our people supported the rebel groups thinking that we will have a better country. We will see peaceful change of power from one person to another.
Conclude, Honorable. Conclude. Conclude.
Our people died in vain. I must tell you that. We wanted democracy. We wanted to see the rule of law. We wanted to empower our people economically. But you can see all the border drivers. When you take stock, you will realize that they come from Bulemezi. They come from, because there's a generation that died. There's a generation that didn't go to school. Instead of taking stock and empowering our people, you're going to go sit in tents, dance, when our people are in a border economy. Right, Honorable Speaker, this is not fair to the people who lost their people and all those who are involved in the war. You need to take stock, account to us, and also make sure you better the economics of our areas. Imagine demanding for food processing industry. 40 years down at right, Honorable Speaker, we haven't. Even the roads. And now you're telling us to come and join you. We can never join you because our people died in vain.
Thank you. Thank you. Specifically, the issues of Honorable Brenda, the Minister for Luweero is here. I will, no, later, Honorable Minister, at the end. I will request you to respond to those issues. Honorable Yakatonda, Honorable Kangwaje, Honorable Feta.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues. I want to commend the Minister for the statement. Right Honorable Speaker, echoing the word of one scholar, Washington Nick, he said success has got so many good fathers, whereas failure is an orphan. Right Honorable Speaker, the achievements brought in by the grandsons of Uganda has showed a lot of results. However, I would like to urge that we could actually look at profiling.
Please, let's have serious.
We could look at consider profiling the successes.
Honorable Yakatonda, wait. Just colleagues, let's listen to one another. Let's have sanity.
My appeal, Right Honorable Speaker, is that we could profile the successes and the pending issues. For example, Right Honorable Speaker, recently they have come up with a program where they can have pre-activities where they are normally building amenities like health centers. That has spoken a lot of volumes, and actually members in the communities appreciate that. Recently I was in Kalangala. I found UPDF building a maternity facility. In Chibuku they had the maternity at one facility called the Kadama, Kirika, and a number of districts. Budaka, and many other places. So I would urge that we could be having maybe a 2 weeks activity, for example, tree planting, so that the masses can understand the importance of the revolutionaries and what has been achieved. Then, Right Honorable Speaker, for example, when we talk of pledges, recently government compensated the war claimants under the cooperatives. And this was quite a substantial amount of money. So, Honorable Minister, I think the government should actually, the party should profile, the government should profile the success and the pending issues, so that at least we can be able to conclude on this. Right Honorable Speaker, like all of you put it, we are asking for more. Others, I would like to congratulate the President and the team, all of us, for attending this day. I thank you so much.
Thank you, Honorable Kangwaje. Then Honorable Feta. We conclude with Honorable Feta.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, allow me also to add my voice to commend the Minister for his elaborate statement. Right Honorable Speaker, Martin Luther King had this to say, that the right is right even though the majority says it's wrong. As long as it's right, you can easily touch, feel, or taste because it is right. I want to base on this statement, Right Honorable Speaker. I have seen my brother, Honorable Senyin, a leader of opposition. Indeed, he has appreciated that if it wasn't national resistance movement, indeed he will not be in existence as of today. Because it is only and only this government that immunized him, that has given him is a very good conducive environment for him to go to school. It is only and only this government that has given him security so that he can go to school and be. I need to be protected.
Just point of order.
Right Honorable Speaker, I thought that as I was speaking, Honorable Kangwaje, among others, were very attentive. I discovered not. For the Honorable colleague to say that I exist because of the NRM, it is shameful, it is problematic, it makes me apoplectic. Honorable Speaker, are we soon going to begin to thank the NRM for the rising of the sun? That we should also thank them for the oxygen that we breathe. Honorable Speaker, I think my colleague needs to withdraw that very problematic statement that I exist because of the NRM. I hope that he will be smart enough to do that.
Thank you. Yeah, I think I didn't get it that way. Yes. No. I'm meaning what Honorable Kangwaje said is really not what Honorable Jower. Listen. What the Honorable Jower said. The only thing I got from what Honorable Jower said was if it wasn't from 7, he wouldn't have a name. Because he's named after Yoweri. I don't know if that one I also got it wrong. No. You said you were named after Yoweri. Okay. No, Honorable Joel has said even without without Yoweri Museveni, the president, he would have a name. Okay? I had thought he wouldn't have a name, at least a Christian name. But Honorable Kangwaje, really.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker.
For the comfort of a member.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
The member is saying you are claiming his only arrived because of NRM, and for him he knows even without NRM he would be arrived.
I concur with you, Right Honorable Speaker, and I withdraw. But I wanted him also to get me well.
But don't withdraw his name, Joel.
Of course I cannot do that. Right Honorable Speaker, to emphasize on my point, it is very, very, very clear, and it is well known in this world, that Uganda is peaceful. It is peaceful to an extent that we have gone ahead and exported peace to our neighboring countries. It is well recorded and well registered. You know that your sons and daughters are in very many countries exporting peace, and they have tried so hard to make sure that other countries are at peace. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to inform this August House that it is only and only in this country, and it is only and only NRM as government, that has managed to take money to Mwananchi on the ground. You know the money we have given the people on the ground in the program of PDM, Party Development Model Program. Right, Honorable Speaker, you can hardly find it anywhere. If there is any person who wants maybe to challenge me on that, I think we are able to discuss. But it is only and only this government, through this parliament, where we found that it is clear for us to make sure that each and every person in this country should be in the money economy. And we did it. So that attribute itself should go back to NRM as an achievement. Sadly, Right Honorable Speaker, it is quite hard. But for us as Banyankore, we have a saying that for those ones who do not want to know the power, the influence, and the sacrifices of their parents, they are the very ones to say that it has happened or occurred because I know it. Let me tell you, it is only and only those people, your brothers and sisters, who woke up one morning and said, enough is enough, let's go and bring peace to Ugandans. And they did it. It is hard for us to sit here and say, no, government has not done anything. It is quite important for us to continue celebrating this and to continue telling Ugandans that the government has done a lot. Take an example of Isinjiro, Right Honorable Speaker. In Isinjiro, we used not to have water. But as I talk today, we have seen water in Isinjiro. We used not to have access roads. We used not have even a single tarmac road. We used not even have peace, but we have gotten them because of NRM. So,
thank you, Honorable
As I
Feta.
conclude. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I want to join in thanking the Minister for the report, and I want to confirm that it's important we celebrate the 39 years of NRM in power. For us in West Nile, by 1986, Arua town had been reduced into ruins. Similarly, Koboko town had been destroyed totally. We could not access Kampala. For us to come to Kampala, you had to take a week or two to come to Kampala. So when we are marking 39 years of peace and stability, West Nile stands with Uganda to celebrate. Two, the education policies that the NRM government has brought, granting access to education universally, for primary, for secondary, the public university policies that have created 11 universities, public universities in this country. We now have 49 universities in Uganda, which anybody can access. We can say education policies have been improved by the NRM government, and it is proper we should celebrate 39 years. In the health sector, we have health center 2s, we have health center 3s, we have health center 4s that have been elevated from health center 3s. And many Ugandans accessing services from this. For us as West Nile, we now have Yumbe Regional Referral Hospital additional to Arua Regional Referral Hospital. For this, we can say thank you. Let us celebrate. We also have improvement in road infrastructure. Although we are not satisfied, we have improvement in road infrastructure. There are governments that were here in Uganda. For instance, the UPC government was in power twice. It did not tarmac the road from Karuma to Arua to Koboko. It was later tarmacked by the NRM government. The same UPC government that was in power twice did not connect West Nile to the national grid. We were connected to national grid just the other day. So when we are celebrating 39 years in power, we have a right to celebrate. However, we have the following concerns, Right Honorable Speaker. I disagree with the Minister on the issue of a smooth ride from Kampala to Koboko. Because between Oluyo and Pakwach, the road is totally depleted. Between Nebi and Arua, the road is totally depleted. And when were these roads done? 200.
Conclude, Honorable, conclude.
Right Honorable Speaker, as government, we now need to address the issue of quality. Because these roads were done by NRM, they are depleted within the time when NRM is there. So we need to improve on supervision of quality.
We still have districts like Obong in West Nile that don't have access to electricity. We still have issues of rural connectivity. We still have issues like Nebi, Jukia, Vura Road. We still have key of those issues. So as we celebrate, we want NRM government to take note that we will continue to support NRM government, but these issues we have mentioned should be given attention to.
Thank you, Minister Forwero.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Honorable Brenda raised 3 issues about Luero. She talked about the monuments. The monuments are 33 in number, and right now the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities is renovating them. They have so far renovated 18, and the work is in progress. We are continuing to. She talked about compensation. Compensation, you all know that since this government came into power, compensation started immediately. Buses were given in Luero, lorries were given. No.
Honorable Minister, make your submission. You're the one on the floor. And don't respond to anyone from the side.
But since 2009, Luero, our ministry, has paid 85,000 people. They have paid Kasimo to 85,000 people. Compensation cannot be forever. Now, point number 3, issue number 3. Issue number 3 was a food processing industry. As you know, Honorable Member of Parliament, this economy is private-led. It is private-led economy, and let me educate you, Madam. We have 102 industries in Luero alone. 102, small, medium, and large. Anyway, I can give you more information, but this noise. I thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable colleagues. These are issues. Honorable colleagues, as you know, there are topics which you can have on the floor where you will never have convergence of minds. You can never. I expect them to be as vibrant, as hot, as, you know. So, but the issues that are very, very critical, like the ones raised by Honorable Brenda and they responded to by the Minister, these are issues we are now going into the budgeting process, which the sectoral committees are going to engage deeply with the members. So, as members from concerned areas, ensure you follow up at sectoral committee level. We cannot settle debate for such issues on the floor. Honorable Chofa, just do a summary. You don't need to go to issue by issue.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker and members. I thank you, members, for all your observations, comments, and supplements, and also to enrich my statement. So I therefore take this opportunity to invite you, all of us, to attend the NRA celebrations in Mubende.
Thank you. Next item.
Item 4 on the other paper, laying of papers, report of the Compton Health and Oversight Service to assess the status of abattoir slaughter facilities in Uganda.
Thank you, colleagues. As the chairman comes, this was an assignment from the committee. So it's not a field report as provided for under Rule 34, where he should just lay. It is a report from an assignment on the floor to visit abattoirs. And I think, Honorable Nachmwer, you're the one who had raised the issue and we assigned to the committee. So, Chair, read your report, but kindly do a summary of it, okay?
Thank you very much.
I allow a debate of 30 minutes.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Before I present the report, I would like to lay the minutes for the trip, and also to lay the report titled Report of the Committee on Health on the oversight visit to assess the status of abattoir slaughter facilities in Uganda. Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, this is a very sensitive topic. All of us eat meat, and sometimes we don't know where it comes from. I'm going to be a bit brief because the report is a bit large. During the plenary sitting of 13th February 2024, Honorable Christine Kaya Nakimweru, that's in Nakimweru, the district woman MP for Kiboga, raised concerns about the deplorable conditions observed in district, city, municipal, and council abattoirs. The concern raised by the honorable member about the status of abattoirs included: 1, lack of toilets, and those that have toilets, they were not clean. 2, lack of proper drainage and therefore presenting foul smell, making it unconducive for people residing near the abattoirs. C, not having water facilities and supply, which compromises the sanitation and safety of meat and other products. 4, lack of power supply, which affects automation and lighting facilities. 6, bushy and unhealthy surroundings of the abattoirs. The Right Honorable Speaker referred the matter to the Committee on Health with instructions.
Honorable Chair, go to observations and recommendations.
We can go to page 18, page 20 of the report. That is the general observations on the status of abattoirs. We start with functionality and suitability of the infrastructure. I'm not going to read everything, I'll just summarize. The committee established that there are no standard designs of abattoirs stroke slaughterhouses in the country. It was noted that most of the local government construct poorly designed infrastructure which do not meet the basic public health requirements, which compromise the hygiene and standard conditions. All the facilities visited had variations, some old, some new, some moderate, and some small. Only 12%, that is 60% of the 19 facilities visited, had standard structures. Masaka, Mbarara, Fort Potro, Masindi, Hoima, Jinja, Iganga, Mbale, Rira, Soroti, Sitabato, and Kaleru. With the exception of the new facility in Hoima, the rest of the structures were in poor condition, manifested by the poor wall conditions, poor roofs and floors, and lacking tiles and terrazzo. Generally, the features of the facilities visited fall short of the characterization of a modern abattoir. With the exception of the new facility under construction, that's Kentale Ward in Hoima City, nearly all the facilities visited had poor equipment and an infrastructure establishment which is typical of local and traditional slaughter houses with old-fashioned means of operation. A modern abattoir should have at least automated systems such as cold rooms for storage, pulleys for hoisting carcass, reliable water and electricity, as opposed to the manual operations which cause delays and compromise the meat quality. Abattoirs can be a source of zoonotic diseases that is disease transmitted from the animals to the humans and may expose workers to the harmful pathogens. We got recommendations for that. MAIV should develop standard designs for the slaughter facilities at different levels that will also cater for various categories of livestock. 2, the government should construct more slaughterhouses and equip them with necessary facilities. Throughout the oversight visits, majority of the facilities were privately owned, while the few government facilities were under the public-private partnership. The government should also undertake renovations and expansion of the dilapidated slaughterhouses to ensure they comply with the required standards. Also, the government should equip the slaughterhouses with modern equipment for meat holding and processing, handling and processing. This includes equipment for cold storage, hoisting, laboratory, and transportation. They also should provide incentives to abattoir owners to upgrade their infrastructure. The district, municipal, and state authorities should ensure that the tenderers for the slaughterhouses provide for the tenderer to operate and maintain the facility. 7, the government should establish a public health and veterinary laboratory in line with the One Health approach in the slaughterhouses to support slaughterhouses in examining the carcass, organs, testing of drug residues, meat handlers, and other necessary tests. The Minister of Local Government approval of new administrative units, for example, town councils, municipalities, cities, and districts. This should be premised on availability of designated locations for abattoirs and environmentally sensitive enterprises. Now we go to functionality. We looked at utilities. One of them was water. Most of our facilities do not have running tap water. Some are not connected to National Water and Sewage Corporation. Some facilities, such as in Mbarara, Sinsbara City, and Slaughter Abattoir, they had water harvest tanks. Fort Portal facility had reserve water tanks, while others, such as Jinja, had extra water facilities such as overhauls. The rest, such as Masaka pig slaughter space, where Masita Abattoir, depend on water fed using jerry cans. Some of those with connections reported intermittent connection breakdowns, for instance, in Masaka State Abattoir, where the staff reported using jerry cans when the National Water and Sewage Corporation water is off. Other facilities, such as Jinja City Abattoir, had been disconnected by National Water due to accumulated areas for water bills. For electricity, the committee noted that out of all facilities visited, about 21% were connected to the national water grid, national power grid. These include Masaka City Abattoir, Mbala City Modern Abattoir, Kibimba City Council Abattoir, Kalero City Abattoir, and Jinja. Majority of the facilities were operating without power services because of lack of connection to the power grid, while others, such as Mbali City Abattoir, were disconnected due to unpaid bills. We go to sanitary facilities. The majority of facilities had VIP latrines. Out of the 19 facilities visited, only 9, that's 47%, had VIP latrines. The condition of the latrines, however, was very poor, manifested by lack of water supply, dilapidated structures, smelly, and many lack demarcation for the male and female staff. Some facilities, such as Hoima City Abattoir, did not have the latrine facility, while others, such as City Abattoir, Kalero, and Mukono, had shared facilities with the market vendors. The functionality of the waste management and disposal processes. The facilities visited lacked proper waste disposal systems. By the nature of their operations, slaughterhouses generate a lot of solid and liquid waste, such as rumen, blood, condemned internal organs, among others. This poor disposal poses significant environmental concerns such as pollution, operational hygiene, and sanitary conditions in and around the slaughter facilities. When they went to waste segregation and storage, with the exception of the Mbarara New City Abattoir, nearly all facilities lacked a waste storage management system. What was common in all facilities is that the waste was cast in open spaces, but segregated according to types. For example, Masaka and Mbarara City Abattoirs had segregated space for keeping hooves and cow dung. In Mbarara, the segregated liquid was, for instance, channeled to a fish pond, which was built for the purpose of consuming water from the abattoir, while the excess was channeled to the lagoon. Disposal, only 16% of the facilities visited had drainage systems. Some of the facilities which had drainage system and lagoons to which liquid was disposed included Masaka City Abattoir, Mbarara City Modern Abattoir, Jinja. The pork masters risked in Masaka. The drainage system for the facilities were in poor status. The city abattoir drainage runs into Nakivubo channel, while the drainage system in Masaka, Karerwe, Masindi were stagnant and visibly old to provide appropriate drainage, which causes stenches and pollution. We can go to availability of incinerators and records. Majority of the facilities had no function of incinerators to destroy condemned internal body organs, carcass, and condemned animals unfit for human consumption. Only Ganga Municipal Abattoir, KCCA, and Karere had small incinerators which were visibly less functional and inadequate. Considering the huge traffic of cattle, especially at the city abattoir, the need for modern and functioning incinerator is important for taking care of the condemned animals and inedible carcass. Other facilities such as Iganga, Lira, Mbale destroyed solid waste and condemned parts by burning, causing unnecessary environmental pollution. Go to lagoons. The slaughtering process involves bleeding, skinning, dressing, and postmortem inspection. At this stage, blood, urine, fecal matter, and other secretions are produced. Inadequate sanitary and hygiene conditions can lead to direct meat contamination, but further expose the workers to various diseases and antibiotic-resistant strains of bacteria. Improper waste disposal and non-compliant effluent discharge can further result in water and air pollution and waterborne diseases. Slaughterhouses can therefore impact public health and environmental health. During our oversight, the committee observed that some of the facilities had lagoons into which they disposed the water. That's Lira, Masaka, Mbarara, Masaka Pig Slaughter Facility for Potro, Iganga, and Mkono. Others, such as the city abattoir and the Karerwe, did not have a natural lagoon, hence disposing their liquid into Nakivu Channel and Karerwe swamps respectively. The cases of Karerwe, Masindi, Masaka, Hoima were worse because the drainage had stagnated. The drainage areas were visible, very dirty, and stained with black material. The Masindi abattoir drainage was blocked, therefore all liquid waste had stagnated. The stagnated waste and water emits a bad smell and is also breeding areas for maggots, which were evident and constant presence of the houseflies. What are the recommendations? NEMA should come up with a dedicated standards for waste management for the different levels of slaughterhouses. The second is all the facilities should have functional incinerators for the destruction of both animal and carcass and feed for human consumption. The third is the operators of the slaughterhouses should invest in value addition so that they add value to some of the byproducts like animal hides and skin and then milk. This will facilitate sustainable utilization of slaughterhouse waste, and the challenge of solid and effluent waste management will be managed. This can take the form of processing solid waste, such as cow dung, into farm manure, and others, such as inedible carcass for fish pond, where the blood can commercially be processed into chicken feeds. The fourth, the districts, cities, and municipal authorities should provide information, education, and communication materials to guide the personnel on the do's and don'ts of waste disposal and handling of liquid and solid waste from abattoirs. Last, the NEMA should constantly conduct environmental impact assessments before construction and develop sustainable practices that minimize habitat destruction. Environmental concerns. The committee notes that Section 9 of the NEMA, that National Environmental Act, Cap 181, stipulates NEMA as the principal agency in Uganda for regulating, monitoring, supervising, and coordinating all the activities relating to environment. Specifically, the establishment of abattoirs is regulated by the authority under Section 113, Schedule 57F of the Act, which provides for the activities and slaughterhouses to undertake an environmental and social impact assessment before commencement of the activities. Therefore, the NEMA has a key role to play in ensuring that abattoirs operate in a healthy environment and that they do not negatively impact the environment. The committee was informed that as at September 2024,
5 minutes, Chair.
Only 21 abattoirs in the different locations had conducted and submitted to the abattoirs the assessment for consideration for the decision. The ESIS identify potential significant and environmental and social impact of abattoirs, slaughterhouses, and how these impacts can be mitigated to prevent or minimize harm to the environment. We can go straight to the recommendations. NEMA and local authorities such as district, city, and municipal health and environmental offices should conduct constant monitoring and supervision to ensure that all guidelines concerning waste collection, treatment, and disposal in slabs, slaughterhouses, and abattoirs are implemented. Baseline and continuous environmental and social impact assessments should be a prerequisite for licensing and continued operation of the abattoirs, slaughterhouses. Abattoirs and slaughterhouses should be far away from inhabited places to avoid complaints about noise and smell. They should also be located near to water, electricity, and sewage supply, and also should have adequate partitions between the clean and the data sections and far away from pollution, for example, of industries. Availability and the competencies of the human resources. Most of the abattoirs do not have enough human resource. If you go down on that section, in principle, every slaughterhouse must have at least a veterinary inspector and a health official to ensure the protocols of meat production and processing are followed. However, nearly all the slaughterhouses visited had only one veterinary officer, only visits in the morning hours when they are slaughtering, and the same person has to oversee all other facilities in the location. We can go through recommendations. The district local government should recruit veterinary extension staff to facilitate meat inspection services in various local governments. Then MAIF and local governments should provide the requisite training to equip extension workers with knowledge on the risk-based meat inspection that directly has a bearing on production of quality and safe meat and meat products. The availability and compliance to the legal regulation provision, those are many. I think you can read through that. And there are many, but we can go to the section on public health meat rules. Okay, that's the same thing. Traceability. What we discovered, what we noted is that some laws and that would help regulate this sector are outdated. Some of these include the Cattle Trading Act of 1943, the Hides and Skins of 1962, the Animal Diseases of the year 2000. This is worsened by the absence of hides and skin policy and national livestock and livestock products traceability system. The system of robust traceability system complicates the tracking of products and their quality throughout the entire value chain. Consequently, this fails to guarantee the quality, Chair. Transparency.
Conclude. The whole report will be captured. I will be captured on the Hansard.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. The report was uploaded. I think members will be able to read through it. And I conclude. In conclusion, the committee observed deteriorating state unhygienic and sanitary conditions in nearly all major slaughterhouse facilities. Many facilities operate without proper licenses or fail to adhere to the hygiene practices. The majority of the facilities operate without constant water supply. Neither are they working under poor supply and automation. Nearly all slaughterhouses in the country do not have the diagnostic services, yet some of the animals' conditions require instant diagnosis to improve on the safety of the meat. The lack of such facilities poses significant risk to the public. Therefore, there should be effective regulation between the various government bodies and local authorities to ensure proper functioning and management of slaughterhouses. Overall recommendation is the general overhaul of the existing slaughterhouses into modern abattoirs with functioning systems which guarantee safety of the Ugandans. Honorable Speaker and members, I beg to report. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair, for the good job. Colleagues in the public gallery this afternoon, we have a delegation from the Christian Voice, an advocacy group based in the United Kingdom. They include Mr. Stephen Green, Mrs. Judith Green, Miss Afoyomungu Priska Ongan, and Miss Iranyibuse Heroin. They've come to observe proceedings of this House. Once again, join me in welcoming them. Debate opens now, starting with Honorable Nachimwero, who raised the issue, followed by Honorable Judith Adiak.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I thank the committee for the good work done. Right Honorable Speaker, following the Auditor General's report, waste management was cited as one of the loopholes in our management systems. And it was cited that only 37% of the 4 million tons of waste is collected. And really, municipalities are also at 50, and cities are at 34.4. And I see the observation here is in line with what the committee has found out and what I had found out in my shadow ministry movements. Right Honorable Speaker, I read the report and I see that there is something that's not being mainstreamed, especially on the management of the revenue. They have identified that the tenderers are only concerned about picking money from these people, but the functionality and all the challenges associated with abattoirs is not of their concern. And that needs collective effort, because the private sector in the activity keep demanding good services from the tenderers. But now, if the tenderers are not concerned about what happens and seeing to it that the fees generated contribute to the change of the environment, it is very alarming. Right Honorable Speaker, there are regulations that some cities and districts have come up with, but most of the districts do not have district ordinances to guide, especially on the time of slaughtering. Because in our cattle corridors, the slaughtering part, if they are allowed to do it even in the night, that is what has increased the cattle theft in our areas. And the issue of confusing some of the live animals sold at the abattoir is also another theft improving initiative, because somebody brings an animal as if he's going to sell it, yet he has stolen it, and in order to kill evidence, they immediately slaughter it. So we should separate the animal markets from the abattoirs, and this has to come from the local governments, because they always cite that they have no space to have the animal markets. But the moment they are combined, then the theft will increase. And Right Honorable Speaker, yes, we belong to different religious denominations, but I see the amount of pork eaten in Uganda from research is more than the amount of beef eaten in Uganda. But you can imagine that from their findings, it was only two districts that had pork slaughtering areas. Yes, pigs. So this one is a challenge, meaning that many of the pigs are slaughtered in funny places, which needs to do what? To be worked on. And Right Honorable Speaker, the same applies to poultry and goats. And Right Honorable Speaker, they have brought it clearly that it is only from the abattoirs they visited, it is only 31% of the abattoirs that had electricity. This is very alarming. 21% only that had electricity. 31% only that had water. 41% only with VIP.
Honorable, I still have a big order paper today.
Okay, right.
Please conclude.
Yeah, I'm trying to conclude. So, the functionality of waste management is almost at zero, because all that they visited didn't have drainage systems, waste segregation points, and clogging of wastewater is a challenge. So, Right Honorable Speaker, I'm very grateful to the committee, but I would request that at least a member who raises such an issue. I come from Chiboga. I have town councils. You would visit at least one town council to appreciate the issue by honorable member. I beg next time to consider such an issue. Thank you.
Sure. Really, that's very, very right, Honorable. Honorable Judith Adiek. Honorable colleagues, I'm going to give you 2 minutes so that we can pick. Honorable Judith Adiek, Honorable Wandwasi. I pick Honorable Najuma. I pick Honorable Sewanyana. I pick Mukono, Kampala. I'm going to give as many of you as possible, but let's be quick so that we accommodate many. Okay?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. I want to thank the Honorable Member who presented this report on the status of our abattoirs in the country. This has been a representative sample for all the abattoirs in this country. Right Honorable Speaker, poor hygienic and sanitary conditions of the abattoirs leads to contamination of our meat. Whoever eats meat, just know that all these abattoirs that are existing in Uganda are already in a very sorry state. They have poor hygiene. They are contaminating the meat that is taken to the market. And we have to take stringent rules on how to protect the public Right Honorable Speaker, recently we amended Public Health Act, Cap 281. We have to enforce the law on these abattoirs. We have the law enforcers. We have the public health workers. I don't know whether they are not facilitated. That's why they're not doing their work diligently. But the law is there for the structures of the abattoir, for how the abattoir can be operated, the personnel who are supposed to work in the abattoir, the laboratory equipment which is supposed to be in the abattoir, and many, many others that are already entailed in the law. Right Honorable Speaker, we have to rise up at once because this is meat for public consumption. There's no.
Thank you, Honorable colleagues. I told you. You know, she's my playmate in golf. So and you know, in golf a ball can go anywhere. So for my own security, I will allow her to conclude.
So, Right Honorable Speaker, thank you so much for adding me 1 minute. We know there are zoonotic diseases that can be transmitted to human beings. We have tuberculosis, yes, and we have Cystosarcus bovis, which is the tapeworm of the cow. And let me just say the cow, because bovis is the animal, the cow. So this is a disease that can be transmitted. It's tapeworm. We have Cystosarcus cellulosae, which is transmitted from the pork that the honorable member was talking about. So if we don't have diagnostic services, diseases such as the ones I've mentioned, including anthrax, cannot be easily diagnosed. So I recommend diagnostic services to be at the abattoir. That is one. Two, I recommend our Minister of Health to come up with stringent regulations on the operations of the abattoir. Right Honorable. Very well, so that they do their work. I thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Pachuto, you had the procedure matter?
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to appreciate the chair and members who have already made their comments on this report. But Right Honorable Speaker, I'm a bit not comfortable because we do export beef as a country. So, Honorable Speaker, I would implore our members that the report is very clear. Let it be sent to the ministries responsible, because it is very sensitive also for our economy, so that, the recommendations can be acted upon. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to submit.
Thank you. Now, Honorable colleagues, I think from what I've read in this report, it has shown me that I've been eating fish, rot, and all that. I'm even going to be cautious eating meat in your homes and all that, because we just speak from somewhere. These are things we can't cover up. Why do we cover here? Number one, the meat of this grade can't be exported. Where will it be exported? It can't be. Okay? So it is a problem which we are consuming locally. Let's tackle it head on. Let us expose it. Maybe it can be tackled. Really, on what people are consuming, putting in their stuff. Me, I thought the meat we have is clean. I hear people going to Rufra, running what? But this report has shown me a really, really big problem, which we must come up and address. So, Honorable Pachuto, there is nothing to cover here. Let us come clean, and then we demand action from the government. I had allowed Honorable Andwasi.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Whereas I agree with the chairman's report that he has ably submitted.
The committee's report.
A committee's report that the chairman has ably submitted. Mr. Speaker, I feel the report was more of urban-based, covering town councils and the districts. Knowing very well that we have a large community in the rural areas. How I wish, Mr. Speaker, the report should have covered districts to cover sub-counties, parishes down there, perhaps to advise the district to pass ordinances, and then down to the sub-counties to pass bylaws that would...
Switch on Honorable one. I will allow you, Honorable. I had already picked. Kind of switch on.
In the villages. Mr. Speaker, quite often when you move in these rural communities, you get these people, they just pick tree branches, dirty leaves, and they slaughter animals. And we are the ones who are consuming these animals or the meat in the communities. How I wish they extended in their recommendations to include even the bylaws and ordinances at the district level. Then in point 2, Mr. Speaker, the report should have also included the slaughter hours to curb the issue of theft in the communities. You raise up in the morning, you find an animal has already been slaughtered and distributed. At least if they had specified the time, at what time should a cow be slaughtered for meat in the community, to curb theft, rampant theft in the communities. And the slaughtered animal cannot be identified by the owner. The moment legs and the head is removed, the owner can't discover, can't identify whether that is the animal he lost or it's because it will be just purely meat. So hours should have been specified in the report. I want to thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. On that, I want to protect the chairman, especially on reaching rural areas. He couldn't have that budget on time. It would be, but even do we have abattoirs in those deep rural areas? because like I know in my village, the other animal which my sister from Chotera and me like. So the way we slaughter it, you massage it and you hit with the hammer here and it dies, and you enjoy the meat. So I had Honorable Betawor, Honorable Aran Sewanyan. I come here.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. It is good we are discussing this, and generally speaking, we also need a national law. Probably this was decentralized, the abattoir, to the cities, to the districts, to the municipalities, but they have to have bylaws. And these bylaws, accordingly, some other districts or some other places, like Kampala City, has a very good bylaw. I don't know if we can interest all the cities, the districts, to borrow, or the Solicitor General can take responsibility for all the lower local governments, the local governments, to take the bylaws of Kampala City for abattoirs. I have not heard the name of Gulu City, but it has, I think, the worst abattoir, the worst. And if you go there, you will completely say no to meat. But we don't talk about it so that those who can eat. However, it is also unfair. It is also unfair to us.
Honorable, we've just come from Guru for parliamentary session,
yes,
and we enjoyed meat.
You enjoyed there, but the meat, if you see the abattoir, it is really in deplorable state. It is very, very bad. So,
conclude, Honorable. Let's do 2 minutes.
Nationally, we can think of a national law to regulate them, but also locally, these people can borrow. Otherwise, we cannot talk about
about the disease, because with the disease, I think the laws are there. But it is the abattoirs which has a gap. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Sewanyana.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I thank the chairperson and the committee for a very elaborate report about the management of abattoirs, especially health-wise. Mr. Speaker, sir, we have a very big problem which hasn't been mentioned by the report. The problem about management issues in this city abattoir, in these abattoirs. Specifically, as in the city here, we have had these problems for such a long period of time. And it is because of these management issues that some problems, like the ones mentioned in the committee report, that come from. Because nobody knows whose responsibility is for some issues, especially one, waste management, and even management of the city abattoir, of the abattoirs here in the city. KCCA has been trying to regulate laws, bylaws, to manage the abattoirs around the city, but such ordinances which have been passed by the city authority have been ignored to be put in place, to be enforced by the city management, because the politicians have been guiding so. So such problems, Right Honorable Speaker, have led to issues of this health management. But again, we have to thank the current managers of these abattoirs. At least they have tried. These people haven't been getting resources, haven't been getting enough training, as mentioned by the report. But somewhere, somehow, people have been managing to get very good meat, and the people have not been dying because of bad meat from these abattoirs. So at least we have to thank them as we yearn for better, improvement, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I think it's our bodies being resilient. you know, have you seen like these mad people and who are moving around? Do they get stomach problems whatever they eat? So they have resilient stomachs. I think we are just having resilient. Just me do Mukono, then I do Najuma. I still have you guys. Colleagues, I don't know, you want to leave me here? We are still together. For better, for worse. Yes.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I want to thank the committee for having actually visited Mukono, and you saw how pathetic the place was. To me, I want to talk about the laws. One, we should also, before giving a license to these abattoir owners, let us first go and investigate the area and see whether the guidelines or the requirements that are needed for one to have an abattoir in that place are in place and they are followed. That is one. Two, municipal councils and NEMA should do routine checkups to see that the abattoirs are in good conditions. With that, we will prevent all this what we are saying. I thank you for the committee for having visited the area.
Thank you, Honorable Najuma. Honorable Najuma.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I thank the chairperson for the report and the members on that committee. Honorable Speaker, I have two issues. Some were saying there are no abattoirs up country, but the president commissioned an abattoir in my district on 2nd July 2016, but it's not functioning up to now. So I request the committee to take note on that, to take note on all the abattoirs that are not functioning. Because if they don't meet the standards, then why were they commissioned when they were constructed using taxpayers' money? Then second, what confuses me, Right Honorable Speaker, the market, the meat that goes to the market is always stamped. That also confuses me. Who does the stamping? And how do they do it? They just stamp. There is without checking the hygiene. Maybe there is corruption tendency within the checkup. So that should also be taken note of. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Yes, let me pick our doctor, our veterinary doctor. He first. You are an electrician, Honorable Joel Eku. Joel, you did in electricity, not only cooking. So,
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues. Dr. Isamat Abraham. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to thank colleagues for the concerns that they have raised as far as this issue of public health and meat hygiene is concerned. In the first case, I want to say that these are case studies that have been done in various parts of Uganda. And in a way, they have informed us what is actually prevailing in our country. It is very important to understand that we are not only discussing about abattoirs, but we're also discussing about slaughter slabs. At district level, most of those places where animals are slaughtered are slaughter slabs. But at a higher level, we have the abattoirs, just like the way we have the city abattoir. But it is very clear that when you move around, conditions are almost the same. So they pose a very big threat to the public health and then even to the environment health. So I have been doing inspection of meat for many years. And someone is asking, how does the stamp come about? The stamp actually comes from the technical person who's a veterinary officer who has done the what? The inspection. Right Honorable Speaker, just like colleagues have shown concern on this particular act.
No, let's take advantage of the expert advice.
There are several aspects that we can discuss as far as animals is concerned. But why, no, are concerns yet. But why I'm so much interested in this one? It is because of the lack of attention that has not been given to all these places we are talking about. And indeed, when colleagues suggest that let there be a policy that can be adhered to if we are to improve on the standards. Look at the people who are selling the meat, people who are actually preparing the meat to be brought to the butchers and then other places. These people, first of all, need to be tested. The medical people are supposed to issue certificates, which certificates should be hung in the butchers where the meat is what? Is being sold. Look at the places where the animals themselves are being what? Slaughtered. Have they been qualified by those in authority? In the process of bringing the meat to the places where where it is sold, who are those people bringing the meat? Have they been also tested? The equipment they are using, has it been licensed? Those are all aspects. So this issue we are discussing actually requires a lot of time for us to understand it fully and then come up with more recommendations that we shall add to what is there in the report. I thank you so much, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Nyachkongoro.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker, and I want to thank the committee for bringing out these issues. And when the report was read, I was wondering whether we are safe. And you know, especially the meat eaters. Right Honorable Speaker, I'm wondering, I don't know whether it was captured, that condemned meat that these people handle and find that it is not suitable for consumption. how do they manage that one? Isn't this the meat that finds itself back to the community and they just enjoy it? Because when you are talking about these abattoirs in urban centers, the rural areas are worse. There are 2 minutes, my doctor. The rural areas are worse because the services that you are talking about, they don't reach there. In fact, when the Right Honourable Speaker said that let us talk about these things, maybe it can create an opportunity for the country to put up stringent measures to ensure that finally we have access to clean and good meat. The way we handle our food in Uganda is really terrible. Not only the meat, you go to the markets. You know, sometimes someone buys fish and carries it, it picks all the feces on the road. It's terrible. And fish, you cannot boil it like how you boil meat. You just end up getting the diseases. No wonder that's why people struggle with different ailments. But my question now, Right Honourable Speaker, is one. We are talking of veterinary doctors. We are talking about the environment. We are talking about Ministry of Water and Environment. We are talking about them. Who is the focal person to ensure that?
You see, that's the problem of asking wrong questions. Question was wrong. So conclude your question.
Right Honourable, thank you for your guidance. But the long question wanted to bring all those stakeholders on
now
board.
You're making it longer.
So maybe that's where there is confusion of who is responsible to ensure that we have clean meat that is good for consumption. I thank you.
Now, honourable colleagues, you see, these issues we are talking about, there are 2 things I've been told. One, I was told that getting this fish, fresh fish, and you tie it on the front of your car, and you go driving from Masaka up to Mitoma, where you have to do around 60 kilometers of dust. I'm told you're just collecting all the waste, all the feces, the bitumen, the what onto meat, and even if you cook, the wires, everything. So, that's what I see many people doing as if it's fashionable. And then they host us, we eat. Number 2, the issue of bad meat, of condemned meat. I also got a bad story that most of this minced meat is condemned meat. This is a meat I'm told they use in sumbusa, in sausages. That's what I was told. I don't have evidence, but because for it is crushed, you won't know. Huh? Yeah, I'm told even these calves, they don't, I'm told these guys don't leave behind anything. They just put in, they miss. Because for us who own dogs, that's the one they would give. Minced meat is the cheapest for dogs. Then these people who can make sumbusa, who make sausages, that's what they go and use. So because of that, I don't take those sausages and sumbusa and all that. I've shared my the story I had. Engineer.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, we cannot talk about slaughterhouses without talking about the inputs and outputs. The way these animals are transported is terrible. And this has a negative effect on the welfare, to begin with, of the animal, but also the quality of meat. So it's important that we think about that. We need the proper guidelines on transportation of livestock, but also we need to sensitize the transporters, because some of them are ignorant. One time I stopped them and told them to remove some of the cows when I was still a mayor. And they were so ignorant. They started abusing me. Not until I called the police and they were told to remove all the animals from the car. Then I wanted to know whether we have a legal framework for the pig slaughterhouses. If we don't, then we need perhaps to formulate one and also enforce it. Then the other one is on the standards. We have UNBS that is in charge of enforcing standards. We don't know whether it does its role. Those are the few areas that I want the committee to handle.
Thank you, Narima. Then Mbari.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as we handle this matter, we should look at the different categories of problems involved, much as we are now looking at the end supply of the matter of slaughterhouses and abattoirs. When you look at the committee findings, first of all, the information I wanted to bring out, that as someone who has been in local government for over 15 years before I could come here, it already represents what even the sub-counties are going through, what the town councils are going through. But I wanted to bring to the fact that as we recommend that the local governments should be able to supervise or inspect daily, it's not possible when we don't have any veterinary services, or when we don't have veterinary extension workers in these local governments. Ministry of Finance cannot get funds to ensure that these people are there. At least in our public service and local government committee, we've found out several times the fact that we don't have staff to do for us this inspection. We shall continue saying this. And also, Right Honorable Speaker, some time back we talked about the matter of ensuring that at least utilities, their funds should be conditioned as they are sent to local governments. It gets back here that if we don't have water, running water, that is supposed to be provided for a given abattoir, and yet that abattoir is a government facility, it's problematic. And that reflects at times why even hospitals, why even an area like Mulago can have no electricity and can have no water. So it's high time we looked further into these matters and said, where are the critical problems? And we answered it. I thank you.
Honorable Masaba, then Honorable Cooper.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Before I do comment on the report, I want to take this opportunity to thank you very much for your recent visit to Mbale City, the industrial park, and it's been a few weeks since your visit, and I can confirm that there has been progress of your visit, because the welfare of most of our people working there has slightly improved, and one of the bridges that connects the community to the industrial park, I can confirm that it was constructed. The Chinese have constructed it. And the community now has access to the park, mainly the employees who are working around the industrial park. So thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. About the report, I want to thank the chairperson and the entire committee for the very good report. But one of the issues that you've noted concerns the land, being prone to land grabbers. Specifically in Mbale City. When you look at the land in Mbale, it's not fenced, they do not have a title. And I expected one of your recommendations is maybe for government to fast track, government to find ways of titling and fencing off this land, protecting it from the land grabbers. So I think this should be one of the key things, because when you look at one of the pictures, you've actually shown one of the dogs killed a goat, and if our people are not good, were not good, then probably they would have sold that meat to us, to the people. So once we fence off this facility, it will prevent such scenarios, such circumstances, where even dogs have access to the slaughterhouse, which is quite dangerous to the community. Secondly, it concerns the electricity that was cut off, mainly in Mbale. I think we need to come up with a permanent solution. When you look at most of the government facilities, even the central markets and other facilities, they are facing challenges to do with electricity. Now that Umeme is being taken over, in conclusion, now that Umeme is taking over, I think government needs to come up with a proper plan on how to subsidize mainly electricity and water now for most of these facilities to enable them continue running effectively. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Colleagues, Honorable Masaba and its colleagues from Bugisu hosted me when I Wanda Richard here, the chairman Bugisu Parliamentary Forum. They hosted me for 2 days in Mbari, and we did great work where we went beyond my duty as a deputy speaker, but engage the proprietors of Umbari Industrial Park, and we had a lot of problems. And I think by the time we left, we had resolved like 90%. We found the community where I think the workers were using around 4,000 on transport. 4,000? Nearly 4,000 every day on transport from the park, from their homes to the park and back. And yet, these people could construct a small bridge and a gate that could connect only 400 meters to the city. It had been a bone of contention. So we managed to engage with the proprietor, and like he has said, now it has been constructed. I received many messages from the young people in Mbari. They also wanted a showroom because the products are manufactured in Mbari, but the people come to buy them in Kampala. And Mr. Zhang has briefed me. He's going to put up, I think they've already started. It's under construction. He's going to put up a showroom for all products to have a showroom in Mbari so that the community can benefit. The other issue was the youth wanted to have a workshop. Let's say you have brought all these investors, but us young people who have our own small businesses, but we don't have anyone to help. And when we engaged with him, he agreed to build for them a workshop on 1 acre, equip it for free, and they just use it. And also on the facilitation, yes?
Thank you, Right Honorable. On the issue of the skilling center, I want to confirm it's almost complete as well because he has been very fast. It's about 1,000 square meter acre to teach the youth to the practical skills and all that, and they promise to equip. Thank you very much, Right Honorable.
Thank you. So Honorable colleagues, you can say as long as you're not going to bring me meat from the abattoir, you can host me in your areas, and we discuss.
Tonight, President Trump's AI revolution and pardon palooza.